Hey everybody, this is Dave coming to you from the Gaming Cave. Today we're going to start our playthrough of Skies Above Britain from GMT Games and game design by Jerry White and Gina Wilis. So this is, of course, the Battle of Britain. And looking forward to this. And like I told you in my open the box, I didn't video all the training scenarios is what I'm going to call them. We're going right into the... I played them, but I didn't video them. There's plenty of videos out there if you want to see how to do all the individual steps. But I did play them so I could get used to the game a little bit. We're going to play Chapter 1, Skirmish Over the Channel. This is Channel War, 10 July to 10 August 1940. France is still falling out, but already the fight spills over into the stretch of sea between Britain and the continent. Convoys ply along Britain's coast and to ports everywhere, and the Luftwaffe's opening moves target those ships and perhaps the ports in easy reach of its air assets newly stationed in France, or will they launch a raid deep into England? Okay, this chapter length is 6 patrols. We're going to have 6 patrols here. Raid vector markers, squadron formation marker. Roll a die and place the squadron in the zone indicated. Low altitude. If you roll 8 or higher, each section spends 3 fuel. Okay, so I got to do that. If I roll that, I didn't. What I'll tell you is I've already set the game up because I didn't want to go through going through and spending everybody's time, me placing counters. What I decided to do was I'm going to fly a Hurricane Squadron, and the one I chose was number 71 Eagle Squadron. So this is the Americans that were flying for Britain before America joined the war. And so I was able to get a pilot roster. So using the pilot roster, as you can see, there's quite a list, but I got pilots. And I put them on my pilot roster here. Luckily, in most cases, I had a letter. Their last name started with each one of the letters. There's a couple where it didn't, but that's okay. And I got that set up. So I just went on, I did a little homework, right? Went on Google, Googled squadrons, trying to figure out who were Spitfire squadrons, who were Hurricane squadrons. Then I remembered about the U.S. having an Eagle squadron, so I decided to do that. So I found this one. I got their logo and all this good stuff, and we're ready. And that gave me names and stuff, so I didn't have to sit there and try to make up a bunch of names of people I didn't know. All right. So getting back to this, I did the setup. I rolled, and I'm in deep over here. I rolled for my son. Well, my pilot assignment, I rolled an 8, so I have 3 green, 14 regular, and 3 veteran. And on my pilot roster, I marked the 3 veterans, or the first 3, James Alexander, Charles Bateman, and Raymond Kerr. And my 3 green are R.H. Tan, Murray, Vosberg, and Thomas Wallace. Those are my 3 green pilots. Then I did visibility. I rolled, I got clear, and then I rolled for the location. I got starboard. So that's here on the board, and visibility's clear. So the first day of the battle is nice and clear. We don't roll for escort yet. We don't roll for the bomber types and formation yet. So we don't know what that is yet. So that's the setup for this game. That gets us ready to go there. I am using the game sequence cards so that we can go through and do all the steps. I've been practicing with those also, so I want to make sure that I don't get myself messed up as much as possible. I have my decks. I've already shuffled everything. RAF advantage, Luftwaffe advantage, escort reaction, head on and tailed, and bomber light and a bomber medium, depending on what bombers show up. There's a good chance we'll get light bombers with the Stukas here in this first 6 weeks. On my roster over here for today's flight, I have 4 sections assigned: red, blue, green, and yellow. Red has a vet and a green pilot. He's down here. And green section also has a veteran and a green pilot. So I tried to match them up, try to keep my green pilots alive. And let's see, I rolled and I got the deep zone. So I'm starting deep. Depending on what happens here where the raid is, we'll find out. One of the notes I saw early on in the rules, and I do like that, instead of me drawing and placing all of these on there, I'm just going to draw them as we use them. So using the booklet here, if you don't mind keeping your booklet close hand, it tells you what you need. So 2, 4, 2, 2, and 1, 1. So when I draw this one, I'll draw 2. Then we'll draw 4. Then we'll draw 2, 2, 1, and 1. Okay? So we'll keep that handy just as a reminder. So I think I have everything set up. And we'll get to it here and get ready to go. Okay, I wanted to look up real quick too for the veteran. As a veteran, once every patrol, the pilot is granted 1 veteran privilege. But I believe that's after the patrol. So that's the way I'm playing it. I may cheat myself on this first one, we'll see. But I think it's after the patrol he earns his privilege for the next patrol. That's the way we're going with it anyway. All right, well, this will be my bomber space here. And then my fighter section board is over here, and I can use this space down here if I need to for lost contact, although I've been using the space on the board. There's lots of detail on the board for everything, and because all my guys are taking off on this one, I've already gone in and marked their first patrol. So they're getting patrol number 1 under their belt. All right, and I got to keep this handy. Set it over here out of the way. All right, well, so we start Hurricanes with a full fuel, and here we go. So we do reveal. This is card number 1. If the raid marker is not yet in play, this is the raid marker here, and it is not in play. Reveal markers on the rightmost space of the track, 1 at a time. Okay, if you remember, I told you there were 2, so we're going to draw the first 2 markers. So we'll draw the first one, and it is it's the raid and anti-aircraft. Okay, right off the bat, we got the raid marker not in play. If the raid marker is not yet on the raid track, place it in the vector marker space. If visibility is clear, place escort station markers on the map also. Okay, so first thing is this goes in the first point. Okay, so we have that on the board now. Now we have to place our escort. So we need to roll. I'm going to use my cup because I can control where the die goes. It gets an 8. 8 is port 109, starboard 110. So they're not heavy. That's a good sign. So I get 110s starboard. So he's in the starboard station, and my 109s are in the port station. Okay. So there's escort. So now escort is, we can see the escort. Okay, the next piece that we drew, we put this right here, shows that we used it. We have anti-aircraft flak. The number, which is 1, equals damage markers and hit markers. So we're going to draw 1 damage marker for the flak. Oh, it's an engine. Doesn't matter which side, it's flak, it's hurricane, because that's what I'm using. So we don't know the bomber formation or which plane they hit, but we know a bomber took an engine hit and he's going to be falling when we get to him. Okay. We gotta draw our second one. Put my cup over here out of the way. And we get a straggler. Okay, so now we're going to have a straggler show up. Now, the straggler is based, we don't know again, we don't know what kind of bomber, so we're going to get a random bomber here. So we're going to roll on this for chapter 1. We're going to roll on this table. And we're going to see which type of bomber it's going to be. It's a 2. And a 2 is, a Stuka. Okay, so now we have a random Stuka. He's over here by himself, flying all alone. Okay, so we place him in the lost contact area. Well, I'm going to kind of do it over here. He's all by himself. There's no bomber formation. Okay, assign a section or fighter to attack it. Fighter must be lost contact. Section spends 1 fuel. Then we play our bomber rounds. No approach penalties on round 1. And then we check for clouds, escape, and ambush off our bomber card. Okay, so here we have this lone Stuka flying along over here. I'm going to assign, I think I'll assign yellow section to go get him. Let's put him down. So we're going to take all 3 of our section over here. And the choice is, do we come in head on? Do we come in, and yellow? So I got to show you this. I assigned him. He burns a fuel up. So we spend a fuel for him now. Okay. Do I come in on his tail? Do I come in on his port, starboard? You know, what's the best way to do this guy? So he's all alone and we want to nail him quick. So I think I'm going to bring in, leaders. Yellow leader's going to come in from the side. Yellow 3 is going to come in from the side. Yellow 2 is going to come in from the tail. Well, maybe he'll get the finished shot on him here. Okay, here we go. Now we got some action. So what we do is, when we do this, so I guess I should have shown you also here on my reveal card. Apply the effect on the marker. So the first one that we had was the raid, which was go to card 5A. So we go card 4, card 5A. And it tells you if the raid marker is not yet in play, place the raid marker in the vector marker space. So we did that. If visibility is clear, escort markers in the escort stations. Okay, and then we go back to card 1. So we go back to card 1. And now, then we had to do anti-aircraft fire. So it says go to 6A. So we have 5B. And then we go to 6A. Float, flak. Note the number printed. Ours was a 1. Okay. Damage. Place the damage markers randomly on bombers, 1 marker per tile max, within the largest contiguous set of bomber tiles. If there's no bomber tiles, if there are no tiles in the bomber formation, place the damage markers on the interception map. And once tiles are placed, apply the damage markers. Okay, so that's what we did. Then you go 6B, continues. Tally ho. If the raid marker is on the raid track and the squadron at high altitude. Well, we didn't have that. Okay. After that, we go back to card 1 again. So we put the deck down. Now we come back to card 1. We play the second marker. The second marker is a straggler. Go to card 3. So there's 2. And we go to card 3, straggler. Place a lone bomber in the lost contact area. One section or fighter. If a section makes the attack, immediately spends 1 fuel. We did that. Go to the bomber cycle subdeck and play bomber rounds. Okay. So now we have our bomber cycle and approach. So now is when we put everybody on there and there's no penalty. Okay, now we go card 2, burst. So now we do the battle. And like I said, I had the light bombers here. So I already got it. So I'm going to start with yellow leader. He's coming in from the port side. So it's alone. So this is what I was hoping to get. He hit the dorsal and a low ammo. Okay, so we put a dorsal hit on him, which means he won't be firing back at us with that dorsal gunner. And we take a low ammo. Yellow 3 is going to attack. He's also from the port. A hit and a low ammo. So he's going to take a low ammo and we're going to draw for a hit. This will be the second hit on this guy. And the hit is on a hurricane, a wing, and possibly rips the whole wing off. But that takes a 12. Well, we'll see what we get here. We get, oh, it's a 12. How about that? Yeah. So the whole wing just tore it off. He shot the wing off of him, and down he goes. Yellow 3 gets a kill. And it is a bomber. So yellow 3 is in. William Nichols. Escort kills. We mark him. He got his first kill. Okay. All right. That took care of that. And we're going to get a victory point for that kill too, I do believe. All right, so the Stuka marker goes back. Dorsal goes back. And these guys are in the lost contact box. Oops, I dropped his low ammo and low ammo, but they're still there together. That's not bad. I put these cards under my deck so that when they come up, I'll know to shuffle. All right, what a roll. Okay, that ended the burst phase. We disengage because there's nothing else there. We do a hit check. Well, nobody got hit. And then there's nothing to resume, so we go back to the main deck. All right. Okay, so we did the straggler. After combat with the straggler ends, return to card 1. So we go back to the reveal. And if the raid marker is in play, reveal the vector markers in its space on the track one at a time. Let's see, if all markers in space have been revealed, go to card 9. Okay, so now we go to card 9. 8 and 9. Fuel. Each section spins 1 fuel. Shift their fuel cubes to the right. All right, so yellow moves up. And these 3 move up. Okay, so we just spent fuel. All right, here we go. Back to reveal. If the raid marker's in play, reveal the vector markers in its space of the track one at a time. Now there's 4 in this one. So we'll draw the first one. And it is weather. Okay, so the first one is weather, and weather says go to card 8. Okay, weather, visibility changes to haze. If the sun marker is on the interception map, it remains there. Visibility is haze already. It is now clouds. So we move it to haze. That's right here. So now we have haze, so it's not clear anymore. After that, we go back to card 1. All right, now we draw our next one. That was interesting. First time I've had the weather change on me. Oh, we have weather again and Messerschmitts. All right. First thing we do is that moves, we go to card 8, of course. And if the visibility is haze, it's now clouds. All right. Then we go back to card 1 and we apply Messerschmitts. This is go to card 2. And so the starboard sun is no longer, it's cloudy now, so they don't have sun. Okay, if the raid marker or squadron marker is in the deep zone on the raid track, Messerschmitt's result converts to a straggler result. Go to card 3, so we have another straggler. Okay, card 3, place a lone bomber. So we got to roll again. 1 to 6 will be another Stuka. 8. And an 8 is, oops, Junkers. Right. This is our Junkers. Right here. So we have a Junkers. Put him on the table. Okay, one section or fighter in lost contact may immediately attack the straggler, or one or more sections may be detached from a squadron. If a section makes the attack, it immediately spends 1 fuel, and we go to the bomber cycle and play bomber rounds as directed in the straggler rule. After combat with the straggler ends, or if you choose not to attack, we go back to card number 1. Well, we're sending my lost contact group to go get this guy. So here they come. So I have yellow leader. He's coming in. I'm going to bring him in from the nose. And I'm bringing yellow 3 and yellow 2 from the port. Okay. We're in the bomber cycle. Of course, we did the approach. And we now do our burst. We'll do the head on. He's a single bomber. Oh, now we have to move to the medium deck. We'll shuffle the medium deck real good. Oops. Okay, we're coming in on the medium bomber from the nose. He's by himself. Dang, he got a return fire on me. Okay. So we draw for the return fire. And it is a hit. And it is a wing with a 4 on it. Okay. Now we got yellow 3 coming in from the port side. Yellow 3 port. He gets a hit and a low ammo. Well, sorry, should have been showing you that. He goes to no ammo, but he does get a hit. And it is fuselage, the hurricane side. So that's his first hit. For this Junker, it takes 4 hits or 1 cockpit or 2 engines. Okay, yellow 2's firing. Oh, he got the dorsal gunner he gets a low ammo and a return fire. So he gets the dorsal. That'll be his second hit. He gets a low ammo. So he goes to low ammo. And they return fire. Okay. And the return fire is a hit. It's a 4 on the fuselage. Okay, that takes care of the burst. Now we go disengage. Move my cards over to the deck so I keep my board clean. So we go disengage, disengage, disengage. Now we go hit check. Okay, so I got to roll for my hit. So we'll roll for this one first over here on the left. I need a 4 higher. 8. Okay, no damage. It's light damage. And I need another 4 higher. 11. Whew. Okay. So he hit me, but he didn't hurt me. All right. Now we resume. So we come back to the bomber section again, and we do our approach. So now that his dorsal gun's down, both these fighters are coming in on the tail. They both take delays, but oops, not that guy, this guy. And this guy goes, he's going back to base because he's out of ammo. So we'll put him on the marker there. And you know what? Yeah, I did it. The first turn was there, the second turn, first turn, and they moved. Nope, his fuel should have been down to there for yellow for attacking this guy. Okay. So we're coming in, we delay, nothing happens. So now we come around and we're going to do our burst approach. So here we go. Onto the bomber's tail. This first fighter on the tail, he gets 2 hits and he runs out of ammo. Well, I don't even need to draw because he's already got 2 hits. So 2 hits, that gives me 4. So we shot him down. So that's a bomber. It goes down, and that was yellow 2. Yellow 2 is J. That's Joseph Kelly. So he gets a bomber kill. Right. Then they're going to do disengage, which they did because he's already shot down. No hit check. And then resume. So this guy goes into the lost contact. Well, both of them do. They both go into lost contact. And that's it. Now we go back to our deck, which takes us back to step 1, which is the reveal. So we've revealed 2 cards so far. Here comes the third one. We have sun. There is no sun, so we don't have to worry about that. And we have a raid marker. Well, you know what? The sun was here. I guess we should roll just to see if in case the sun comes back out where it'll be at. It's positive, so it comes around to tail high. But we know that he doesn't have anything there. Okay, so now we have raid again. So we go using the card. We did the weather, card 5A, or no, I'm sorry, card 8, and then it takes us back to card 1. So now we do raid, card 5A. 3, 4, 5A. Reveal. If the raid marker is already on the raid track, the bombers release ordnance, C5B. So they just dropped their bombs. When bombers release ordnance, move the raid marker along the curving arrow to the turn space. So that's where he moves that up there. He's turning. Remove all inbound vector markers from the track, including this one, and canceling any second icon on it. Okay. So these come off and they're out of play now. We don't use this anymore. Now we have to draw outbound vector markers and place one in each box of the outbound row of the raid track. Right. So this is the raid track, is right here. There's going to be 3 markers, and we can feel the marker so that you always get it outbound side up. We don't know what's on the other side. So I gotta feel it. Yep. If I pull one wrong, I'll throw it back in, but should be outbound. Yep. Okay, there we go. So we put the 3 outbound markers on the map. Okay. If the sun marker is on the interception map, roll a die and check for a new location. Well, honestly, with the clouds, it shouldn't be there. So I think it's done, because once it becomes cloudy, it stays cloudy. All right, the reveal step is ended. Go to card 9, fuel step. So we know, we go up here to card 9, and we have fuel. So everybody uses fuel. Yellow uses fuel. These guys use fuel. Okay. We go 10. Contact. If the raid marker is not yet on the raid track, skip this step. If the raid marker is on the raid track, you may perform contact if squadron is in the same or adjacent zone. Well, I'm not, because I was there's 2 zones away. Okay. So we don't have contact there. Move your squadron block to the interception map also. All lost contact fighters must immediately return to base. Place bomber tiles in the bomber formation area. Vector. So move your squadron block to the interception map. We're not there. Also, all lost contact. Let's return to base. Place escort station markers on the map. They're already there. Place bomber tiles in the bomber formation area. We're not there. We don't have contact yet. So we're doing vector. Do a move or reform action to improve your squadron situation, or do nothing. Okay. Move the squadron block to an adjacent zone on the raid track. For example, from deep to middle. Move to a different altitude. If you do both move actions, spend 1 fuel. That's what we're going to do. So we're going to move the squadron. He's going to go up to here. He's going to get a blue, which makes him high, and he's in the middle now. So we moved up closer. Red, blue, and green all spend off a fuel to do that. Okay. Escort exit. Make escort exit checks for any occupied escort stations. Okay. Escort exit track. That's going to be on one of my other. Let me find that. Okay, so to check, we look at the red number, which happens to be in the turn box, which is a 10. So now we're rolling. If it's a 10 or higher, we'll start with the 109s. They'll leave. 7. Nope. And now for the 110s, same thing. 12. Okay. It would reduce them, but because he's already low, the 110s pull off. So they left station. They couldn't stay up there anymore. Okay. Move to a different altitude. Escort exit. We did that. Reform sections. Fighters that are lost contact may return to squadron. All sections that return to squadron spend 1 fuel or return to base. Well, we know this guy's returning to base because he didn't have any ammo. And this guy's got a low ammo. Quite honestly, he's going to return to base too. I'm not going to risk him getting killed or anything. Yellow section did their job. They went down and got 2 kills. Okay, so I'm going to pull them out. Okay, now we go back to card 1. If the raid marker is in play, reveal the vector marker in its space on the track. If all markers in the space have been revealed, go to card 9. Got to check something. Okay, so if all markers in the space have been revealed, go to card 9, which is the fuel step. There's 8. And card 9. So everybody burns fuel. Yellow's out of it now. They're all gone back to base. So we burn fuel. And we do contact. If the raid marker is not yet on the raid track, if the raid marker is on the raid track, you may perform contact if squadron is in the same or adjacent zone to the raid marker. Contact is automatic. Roll a die on one of the contact tables to determine the squadron's starting position on the interception map. That's here. What's B say? Contact map at position indicated on the table and go to card 12, interception sequence. Turn to base, place escort station markers on the map, place bomber tiles. We've already done all that. Okay, contact. We're not in the same zone, so it's not contact A, so that means it will be contact B in an adjacent zone, so we can contact them. It's going to cost us fuel to do it. And we've got to roll a die for my squadron, the 3 sections that are coming in here. Now, I can split one section off. This is where we're going to get into orders and stuff. But now we're going to find out a couple things. One, we're going to do contact in adjacent zones. We got to roll the die. So here we go. We roll the die and we get a 3. And a 3 is tail low or fuel flank low. Okay, I'm going to spin the fuel. And this squadron is going to come in here, starboard station low. All lost contact fighters must immediately return to base. They already have. Place escort station markers on the map. They were already placed. Place bomber tiles. The bomber formation area, but defer this if visibility is clouds. So it is cloudy, so we still don't know the bomber formation. Vector reform. Nope, we don't do that. Oh, we go to card 12 now. So now we start interception sequence, orders phase. Okay. If escort stations are not yet on the interception map, roll a die. If the visibility is not clouds, roll a die and place bomber tiles. Formation squadrons, flight or section that are on the interception map must be assigned an order or immediately return to base. Okay. So we're going to give orders. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to assign green we're going to break this out. We're going to have green and red and blue. Red and blue are going for the bombers. Green is going for the escort. Okay, so that's what I have left. Yellow's already gone home. We have these guys that are going to go for the bombers. Okay, if no formations are on the interception map, which they're not yet, go to card 18, entropy phase. 14, 16, 17, 18, bomber formation. If none of your RAF fighters are in the bomber formation area, skip entropy phase. No, we're there. We're in the bomber formation area. Unengaged fighters in the bomber formation area must return to base. If already engaged, nose or tail position with a bomber fighter must attack it. Make sure these attacks go to card B1. Now, why did it tell me to skip to the entropy phase? If no formations are on the interception map, escort order. There's formations on this map. Yeah, we're not going home yet. Okay. If the targeted escort station marker is light 109s or heavy 109s, roll a die for each formation with an escort order and consult the intercept escort table. All right. So I'm getting my intercept escort table. Here we go. So I have my escort is coming in flank low. Escort station. Oh, and by the way, we were high, so we're coming in high, not low. So these are 109s, starboard or port, other side. Oh, I should have came in same side. I would have had a better chance at him. So I get a 9. I need a 9 to see these guys. Okay, to get the advantage on them, I need a 9. 3. Okay, so that means roll a die for each formation with the escort order. Spending 1 fuel allows a reroll. He's going to spend, Green's going to spend a fuel. He's going to try it again because I really would like to get a chance at this guy. So we spent the fuel. See if we can get on these guys. 4. Well, it was 1 better, but it wasn't good enough. Okay. So these guys all go to lost contact. So we flip. I'm going to flip his marker. Green, he becomes lost contact. So these are lost contact now, but I'm going to keep them in that area because that's where I'm going to roll at. Okay. It failed, so I draw a Luftwaffe advantage card for each section that failed. And then we go to dogfight cycle. So I draw 1 Luftwaffe advantage card. Here it is. Head on, a rot. Hunt in the sun, if clear or haze only. Well, it's not, it's cloudy. So we don't have to add anything. So it's head on with a rot. 109s. So I have my 109 marker right here. Shows 2 planes. We put him head on right here. We go to our dogfight cycle. So we have our dogfight cycle cards. We'll start with them. And we go apply the advantage cards event. We did that. Okay, we know it's Messerschmitt 109s. Place the German fighters. We did all that. So we're all set. Place fighters. Next thing is head-on combat. So now we resolve our head-on combat. So we pull head-on. Head-on and tailing's the card. Hurricane, of course. Oops. I have a section. These are 109s. Okay, so we got a lot happening here. We have a loose. They break off. We get a low ammo and we do a collision check. Okay, so we know the 109s are going to break off. We'll go ahead and do them. Now I have to roll for which plane is going to be loose. 7. That's my leader. He goes to the lost contact box. He's an individual now. We have a low ammo. One of these three had low ammo. A 3. That would be plane number 3. And we have to roll for collision. A 1 is a collision. It's a 10. It's no collision. Okay, that takes care of the head-on and tail-in card. Oops. Get all my cards. There we go. Takes care of that. Takes care of that loop-off advantage. All right. That's the escort order. This guy's by himself now. Now we go escort order. If the target is, this is 13B. Okay, we already did the, so now we go to card 14. There's no defensive circle because there's not 110s. Now we go to escort suppression. After completing the dogfight cycle to intercept escort, roll a die and consult the escort suppression table for each station marker. Okay, escort suppression table is right here on the board. I'll get a die. See if we suppress these guys. Station size is light, and the fighters that engaged was 2 to 3. So I need a 9 to eliminate them, a 6 to suppress them. 12, got them. The 109's left. Okay. So they don't have any escort now. Well, green section did what they were supposed to do. Okay, after that, bomber's order. Resolve each formation's bomber orders. So now we have to detect the bombers. Now we're coming in, port, flank high, no escort. I need a 5 to get these guys, to spot them. I need a 5 or higher. 7, got them. Okay, so here we go. Red and blue sections are going to move into the bombers. So the dogfight segment, I should have finished that card. There's no tailed maneuver. There's no tailed combat. There was no tailing combat. And there was no hit checks to do. Okay, and we don't resume, so we went back to our main deck, which is what we did, and went to our bomber orders. Okay, I'll get ready for our bomber cycle. Resolve each formation's bomber order by rolling the die and consulting the intercept bomber's table. So these guys were still together. That marker can come off now. Place RAF fighters in the bomber formation area and go to B1 for the bomber cycles. Okay. So the first thing we got to do is find out which bombers and what formation this is. So we're going to have to roll 2 dice. So I'm going to roll first for the type of bomber. This is going to tell us what we're going to be up against. A 5, Stukas. All right. And the next roll tells us the formation type. An 8. Okay. So the first roll was a 5, Stuka. Second roll is an 8. 6 tiles in this pattern. So I'll set up my Stukas. And they'll be over here. One in the lead. One out here. One out here. That's 3. Then they have one out here. One, oops. One out here. 4, 5. Nope, I did that wrong. One here, and then one more out here. Okay, so here's the picture. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, that's our bomber formation. And our fighters are coming in from the starboard side now. Okay, we can take that order off of him. I can take that order off of them. They can come off. That one can come off because that. Okay, and now we're going to bring in red. He's coming in this way, so I'm trying to separate these guys. I want to create, hopefully, create them some problems. And I also want to hit these Stukas. So we're going to come in the leader. And red 3 is coming in behind him. We'll do it this way. Leader and red 3 there. Red 2 on this one. And then blue. We got blue 3 out here. And blue leader and blue 2 are coming in on this last plane right here. Okay. All right. So we're going to try it. If we can get this guy, knock him down or something, I can separate 2 or maybe even 3 of these squadrons where they're not, where it, we can get them isolated. So that's our game plan. Okay, we've done the approach. Now we do our burst. We got to go back to the light bombers again. We'll set this over here. Bring back my light bombers. All right. We're going to start with red leader. He's coming in from the starboard side. And it is a formation. He gets a hit, a low ammo, and a 6. Okay. So we get a hit. Let's see what that is. It is a wing, and if I roll a 12, his wing rips off. Ooh, 11. Man, that was close. I get a low ammo, and a 6 disrupts this formation. So we count this as damage and my fighters. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 fighters plus the damage. That's 7. So that did their job. So he separates, he separates, he separates. So we now have this group. We now have 3 sections that are isolated. That's what we were trying to do right there. That was red leader. Red 3's coming in. Now we're isolated on this guy. Starboard, isolated. He kills the dorsal gunner and goes low ammo. Okay, so now he takes his second hit on that Stuka. He only needs 3 to get him, and low ammo. All right, that's red 3. Red 2's coming in next. Red 2 gets, he's a, oh, wait a minute, I read the wrong one. Yep. Gotta redo that. I read the wrong one. He's still in formation. He's not single, but he's down here. He gets a 5 and a return fire. So that dorsal comes off of there. Put that back. The low ammo came off of there. All right. He gets a 5. And the 5 means they isolate him, which is going to cause him to break out or be fallen. don't know why I laid that card there. Okay, there we go. All right. So he becomes fallen. His hit goes with him. These two guys. All right, so both fighters have disengaged. Of course, we're going back to the approach again. He's going home because he's out of ammo. And that brings up blue leader. He's coming up on this guy again. Take another shot. Here he comes. From the port side formation. He's not green. He's out of ammo. Okay. He'll go home too. Since I don't have to go through all those steps, we already know. He's done. And that's it. That formation goes on, but they lost 5 bombers in that group. Okay, bomber approach is done. We won't be resuming that. Back to the main deck. That's it for the bomber order. Cruise order, we don't have one. Bomber formation. If none of your RAF fighters are into bomber formation, skip entropy and go to card 20. So we do that. 20 is chase. So I have a green down here. Lost contact sections and independent RAF fighters must go to return base or attempt chase. To attempt chase, you know what? I've done pretty good. I don't think I'm going to run the risk. I'm going to go return to base. So they all go return to base. His low ammo can go back over there. And that's it. And the whole squadron is going to return to base. Okay. That's going to take us all the way to return to base sequence. Fate. Check each fighter in a fate box. I don't have anybody. Fuel check. Check each fighter on the return to base track. If in a space with a bailout number, roll a die. Nope. Recovery channel. Channel recovery. Nope. Pilots. Update your pilot roster. Patrols flown and skills. And kills. Scratch pilot kills off the roster. Scratch killed pilots off the roster. Replacement rate equals 1 pilot per patrol. Check status of pilots, move pilots, tallying points, score your patrol by awarding victory points. And that's going to be the end of this. So we're going to look up this victory points here. It says it's on page 48. This is really the first time I've had the chance to do that. Okay, pilots. In order to track their progress, we did all that. Tallying points. Each bomber destroyed is 1 victory point. Your squadron earns 1 victory point for each bomber destroyed by your fighters. A bomber destroyed by flak does not count. 4 Luftwaffe fighters destroyed equals 1 victory point. Isolated bomber tiles are 1 victory point. Oh, I should have been keeping track of those. Cheated myself. I'll have to check my video to see how many of those we actually had now. So, or no, I'm good because it's just this patrol. So we have this here. So we have Patrol 1, Campaign 1. So this is Chapter 1, 1. Chapter 1, 1. Escort, killed. We didn't kill any escorts. Bombers killed. Well, we killed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We killed 6 bombers because I had the 2 that were stragglers. So we killed 6. Ketas isolated 1, 2, 3. So I got 3 there. That gives me 9 victory points. Pilots, B, O, W, and K. Bailout, none. Wounded, none. Killed, none. Perfect. Okay, so that's what we scored, 9 victory points. I would consider this as our first mission very successful, and I feel good about it. So the squadrons are going to come home. All these pilots will go to their fatigue base boxes because I think I got to check that. Bomber tile, components, pilot experience. Let's see, fatigue. See where that's at. Page 49. Oh, right here, fatigue. In a campaign, use the pilot roster to keep track of pilots. Flies 2 consecutive patrols, become fatigued. After that second patrol, he remains fatigued until rested. Rested pilot must not fly 1 patrol. All right. So that means of my 20 pilots, 12 of them flew. So I have 8 pilots that can fly. I can rest these guys. That's the thing you got to do, is you got to rotate your pilots and get these guys some rest. So we don't want to get them wore out and then they can't fight. All right. Well, that's the end of patrol number 1 on chapter 1. So 71 squadron. The Eagle Squadron had a nice day. They're going to come home with a good report. I think we did a good job there. I think that we're looking forward to our next mission, our next patrol. So if you like the video, give me a thumbs up. If you new to the channel, please subscribe. I'd appreciate it. And we'll see you guys for the next one. Have a good one, everybody.